People, welcome back again to another video. If you are new in this channel, this is Queen Sharon Entertainment and home of freedom fighters. If you haven't joined our family yet, join us by hitting the red button down below there on the bell notification icon, so whenever we have a new video in this same channel, you will get notified. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I love you all. So my people, I have a video here that I want you all to watch, and I myself will be watching with you in this particular video. Feel free to let me know what you think about the video after watching. Like and share this video, and I will see you guys again in my next one.
My fellow Amazonians, it's been a long time I address you live via Facebook. And I thought it was important for me to take this opportunity to clarify a couple of issues that are important in our struggle. I also want to send my best wishes to the Biafran people as they go through difficulties in the wake of the kidnapping of their leader. There are a couple of issues I would like to clarify so that we are all on the same page with respect to our liberation. In the past few days, we have observed the enemy moving military tanks into our country. I can assure you that this is the last desperate move of a defeated army that is using public relations propaganda to silence its own agitating population and to attempt to intimidate our people. We have risen up in resistance against a brutal occupier that we have humbled in the battlefield. You must recall that 4 years ago, when millions of our people went on the street with olive branches, they deployed helicopter gunships. They moved troops from the Amanawo Bay. They mauled down thousands of people. We are still unable to account for the bodies of thousands of our people who were mauled down in Boya. We began resisting with Dane guns. They brought in their special forces. Then they brought in pickup trucks where they could move their forces from one part of our territory to the other. We shattered those pickup trucks. We defeated them in the pickup trucks. They moved from there with armor cars. We still pulverize most of those armor cars, as you saw in the action of Bamising by General Nopiti. A daring action in broad daylight, taking down Cameroon's most trained and equipped elite forces. That was a sign of bravery. They have now tried to deploy helicopter gunships with new model of armor cars. I want to remind our people that armor cars don't fight wars. People do. People do fight wars. That's why one of the strongest militaries in the world, whether it was the Russians, the Americans, could not defeat the Afghans, could not defeat insurgencies either in Iraq or in other countries. Because once the people are determined, they are going to defeat any army, no matter how well armed that army is. In the past days, the regime has been attempting to explain why they cannot prevail in Amazonia. They are accusing Amazonia of entering into alliance with foreign terrorist groups. I want to assure our people, from the beginning of our struggle, from the beginning of our resistance, we define our objectives. We define our strategies in a public way. Our strategies are consistent with the rules of war. Our strategy upholds the respect of human life and human dignity. Our objective for independence is not an artificial creation. It's something born out of colonialism, born out of the remnants of a brutal regime that has made its existence in our land based on assassination, exploitation of our natural resources, and the deployment of disproportionate force against unarmed civilians. We explained to the world why we were fighting, and we made it absolutely clear that we will seek alliances with peoples, nations, and states whose values are consistent with our values, and who can work with us to defeat the colonialism of Amazonia. We have established a working relationship with the Basque. We have held public meetings with the Basque. Our representatives, including the Vice President of the AGOVC, Secretary of State, have been able to visit and address the Basque Parliament. This year we entered into an alliance with Biafra, the indigenous people of Biafra, the biggest indigenous people within the continent of Africa. The Biafrans are a recognized people whose existence predates all the states that have been artificially created within the continent. We are in alliance with them. They are not a terrorist outfit. They are a people who have been subjected and subjugated for more than 70 years, who suffered genocide in the hands of Nigeria. And as I have pronounced before, in the 50s, nations and peoples stood together against foreign dominion. They fought together. They recognized each other's effort. Betrayal of any people is unacceptable. And we will continue to work with the Biafran people to make sure that they can realize their aspiration, self-preservation, that their resources can be exploited to develop themselves, not a foreign dominion. Cameroon must understand that the mistake it made 5 years ago is going to crumble it. And Nigeria cannot make the same mistake. Cameroon's attempt to win Nigeria's support in its brutality and genocide is not going to work. We are determined to write the last chapter of Cameroon's presence in our land. And I've asked our people to ensure every flag of the occupier is brought down. Every symbol of the occupier must be brought down. Every institution that perpetuates the occupation and colonialism of our country must be destroyed. Independence means independence. We are going to create indigenous institutions that cater for the well-being of our people. When we say we are free, it means we have erected our own educational foundation, that we have our flag, our own anthem, that we are able to create an economic model that is able to sustain our people, creating a judiciary that is going to uphold the principles of justice, fairness, in the protection of our people. In a few days, we celebrate our independence. Like all people who have fought for freedom, our people must take pride in their effort, in their sacrifices, in their determination to establish on this earth a free space within which all their values, their culture, and their norms can come together to make them live a better life. We must together celebrate our independence, whether we are in the diaspora, whether we are in the homeland, to project strength, to show that we have vanquished Cameroon, to show our own institutions to the world. And we thank the Biafran people for joining us in this celebration. And I'm definitely very sure not long from now, both peoples, both nations will be free. And all the prisoners that have been kidnapped, those who have been renditioned, subjected to torture by colonialists who have exploited our resources for their own benefit, will not be forgiven. We are not going to create Peace and Reconciliation Commission. We will not forget. We will not forgive. We will hold this brutal system accountable for the carnage that they have caused in our homelands, for the environmental degradation that they have caused in our homelands, for the murder, assassination, torture as a weapon of occupation. We must rest assured that the 21st century is our century, that our continent cannot be hijacked by puppets of colonialist regime that have exploited our resources for the interests of foreign companies, that have tortured our people and degraded our cause, wasted the lives of our people. Be rest assured that a new Africa is in the making. An Africa for African people. That we will be able to have access to our bounties. That our human resources will not be shipped across the Mediterranean. That people will not take flight away from our shores to develop foreign countries. The same enslavers that 400 years ago took our forebears into captivity and have implanted within our continent puppets that have continued to perpetuate the colonialist political, social, and economic systems. We must fight to be free. We must sacrifice to be free. Some of us will not be around to enjoy that freedom. Some of us will not be out to see the day that we will be free. But we will be proud wherever we may be that we've made a huge contribution to a free country for our people. God bless you all.
Thank you so much for watching that particular video. Feel free to let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Like and share this video, and I will see you again in my next one.